it's kind of inevitable that you learn some words in the supermarket, in the metro, etc. But do you guys feel that after 4 years, do you guys speak French by now, you think?
Christina does.
I do. I
don't.
Hi guys, welcome to a new podcast. Thank you for tuning in. This one is going to be about AUP, the American University of Paris. I graduated from there in 2019, and I actually have a graduation vlog out on YouTube, and I got a lot of DMs from people, prospective students who wanted to know more about the school. That inspired me to make this podcast now to kind of combine all those questions and into topics that we'll be talking about today. And to do this, I've got two of my best friends from AUP here with me. Hi guys, welcome. Thank you for being on my first kind of official podcast. So just to introduce them, we have here Christina. We met in orientation in 2015. She was actually my freshman year roommate. What did you major in at AUP?
It was History, Law, and Society. Yeah, the only major, no minor.
And then we have Tommy as well. Hi, Tommy.
Hi, guys.
We also met in orientation. I think we all met in orientation, like 2015.
Yeah.
And you just graduated. You did a bachelor and a master. I think you just finished your master. And
yeah,
what did you major in as well at AUP?
For undergrad, I did global communications major and political communications minor. And I also specialized in marketing. And then for my master's, I did development communications with a focus on human rights.
Wow, so amazing. And actually, Tommy was also, she was president of UNICEF Club. She was actually senior speaker at grad. You worked as well, right, at AUP?
Yeah.
What kind of, you had a job there?
Yeah, I worked in the admissions office for over 2 years. I also worked in the president's office for a while. So I definitely have some experience also like working for AUP. I did a lot of campus tours.
It's amazing. So Tommy here definitely can tell us all about AUP. So yeah, let's get into it. Thank you guys for being here and let's get started. I think the first topic I think is on everyone's kind of mind is like campus and housing. Housing is definitely a big topic because AUP doesn't have dorms. Like we don't sleep. There's no on-campus housing. Where did you guys all live in Paris during those 4 years? I think we all had very different apartments during those 4 years.
The first apartment that I had was provided by AUP, and it was actually the one we lived at. I don't know if it's still the same company. It was Comforts of Home, like a company within university that provides every student a house, and it's mandatory for freshmen. So yeah, the first apartment was with you. It was in the 16th, I think, in Rue de Passy. It wasn't a bad apartment like generally, but we had a huge problem with a neighbor. I remember like she was always complaining. She was always unhappy. So eventually we had to move out to another apartment also in the 16th. And after that, after freshman year, I found an apartment in the 7th, 1-bedroom apartment where I lived the whole time until I graduated.
Tommy, what about you?
First semester of the freshman year, I was in the 15th, but I actually didn't really like this apartment, unfortunately. Like I changed the apartment for the second semester of the first year, and I moved to the 15th. It was a great area, and I was living with 3 other girls, and the apartment was huge, which was amazing. So I actually really enjoyed it. And then after the first year was done, I decided to find a place by myself. Actually, AUP has an AUP housing database where you can browse through different housing options. You can find apartments, or you can go live with a family. Some of my friends also chose this option. They went to live with a French family, which helped them to improve their French. But I personally chose to just get a studio, and I'm quite happy. My landlord spoke English, which was a great advantage for me. And I stayed there until I moved from Paris, which was almost a year ago.
Yeah, so we've all had a lot of different houses. But we all decided to live alone after that. So actually how it works is that the first year, AUP houses us in their houses that they have available because they don't have dorms, so they have different buildings and apartments all across Paris. After that, we kind of all found our own apartments. And like Christina said, we definitely are first semester experience wasn't that like it was a real like introduction into French culture.
It was not good at all.
That woman must haunt you when you're
Yeah.
like
I remember she told us don't go to the bathroom at night. Like she literally, I remember that deliberately, and after that I
Yeah.
was so confused.
Yeah, because Paris buildings are very old and people don't like noise, so that's something to just be aware of when you're looking for apartments or when you're moving to Paris. Then to move on to the campus itself, so AUP is in the 7th. AUP doesn't have like all the American university, like a big campus, but we're in different buildings in the 7th, and I guess the 7th kind of becomes your campus, right? I feel like you always see people walking around, and especially Christina, I mean, you lived in the 7th, you must see people there all from AUP all the time living there.
Yeah, even when you go to a grocery store, I saw professors, the guards that work at AUP. But it's nice, honestly. Like, if you always say hi, yeah, it's a friendly environment for sure.
AUP is like a small school. Like, I don't know, do you guys know our student population?
I think it's like 1,200.
It grew a lot since we left, actually, I think.
That's something really special about AUP, is that it is a really small school. And I kind of feel like everyone kind of knows each other, especially because I feel like just everyone knows each other from just being around. And especially I think because in orientation, you kind of meet everyone and you meet your graduating class. And from then on, you will always know those people from your orientation. I feel like we all had different majors and we never had class together.
Exactly.
But we're still, friends.
Yeah.
It's because we started in the same year. About the social life aspect then, really a tip from me would be to join more like campus clubs to get more involved in the university. I mean, did you guys ever join any clubs? I mean, you were actually president of UNICEF. Can you tell more about the clubs then, about UNICEF maybe? Or
Yeah, of course. Usually when I was doing campus tours, I would always like discuss the clubs. So I'm quite knowledgeable in this area, but I would, of course, same like you, advise everyone to join at least one club during their time in AUP. I chose UNICEF just because I've been interested in their work since a very early age, and I wanted to like get more knowledge about it, raise awareness about it. In the beginning, when I joined the club, we were a very small amount of people. Maybe we were 5 people, and then I think by the end, when I was leaving, we were 30 or 40 people. Like, I really managed to grow the club a lot, which was incredible. We managed to do a lot of initiatives. Now in my master's degree, I was part of more like the sustainability club. So I was the graduate representative on the advisory board of sustainability, which was great because I got to learn a lot about AUP's plans to make their campus more green. I know there's also a wine club, and they do different wine tastings in Paris and outside of Paris. There are a lot of sports as well, if people are interested, which is also a great way to meet more students. Yeah.
It's amazing. You really like started a whole movement actually at AUP of humanitarianism. So really, that's hats off to you. That's really good.
Thank you.
And and sports clubs, we went to the gym, right? We didn't join any sports clubs.
Yeah.
We just went to
We did
each
went to
other.
the gym.
Went to the gym.
Yeah. Fun times. Did you guys think the student body, like, do you think we're a pretty international school? I mean, we're kind of an example of how international the school is. Share where you guys are from.
Was born in Russia, by origin I'm Georgian. Yeah, that's my story.
I think I've always said in my classes that I'm just the most boring example because I'm just born in Bulgaria and always lived here. Actually, to answer your question, one of the reasons why I chose AUP in the first place was because of how international and diverse everyone is. Like, you learn as much from your professors as you do from your classmates. The fact that everyone is from a different country and has like different origins from you, like, really makes all of the discussions in the classroom even more exciting, even more creative, because people are bringing all of their different points of view, which I think AUP is one of the most unique places in the world just because they have people from everywhere. And I think this is something that will never change because AUP always attracts people from different parts of the world, which I think is a great, unique selling point for AUP.
No, I definitely agree. And when you're talking about how, discussions and stuff with professors and students, I feel like this is also really special by AUP, how small the school is, because that gives you the opportunity. Because how many people will be in a class, like, ever? Like, maybe 15 max?
15, 20 people.
Sometimes it was like 3 to 4 people in class. Like, I've had classes with like just 5 of us.
Yeah, because everyone, you get to know everyone really well. You get to know your professors really well.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you saw your professor in a grocery supermarket, that means you know them pretty well. Did you guys have any favorite professors that you would remember
So many. I have so many.
Tommy
Yeah.
was everyone's favorite. I swear, I took like 2 classes with Tommy. They loved her, loved the
Oh, I
professor.
love them. No, like definitely. I mean, the first person that comes to mind is Professor Jason Harrison. He's amazing. He's just the most incredible person. I've learned so much from him.
Let's move on to French, because that was a lot of questions on my DM were like, how much French do you need to know to live in Paris? And do they have French class at AUP? I think, Christina, you took French class, didn't you, for a
Yeah,
long
I
time?
took French classes the whole time I was in the AUP, and I took them also before, and I would 100% like vouch that you absolutely need French, at least basic level, because post office, the bank, préfecture, all the nobody will speak English to you. They won't even try. You will have so many problems. Like, better to take like at least a few classes before and 100% in AUP. Classes in AUP, they have French several levels, so you can do a test and they put you in a level that you fit in the best. The good thing is that in AUP, the professors are obviously French and they speak only French in the classroom, so there is no English whatsoever, and you learn really fast. Plus, combined with the fact that you practice it outside on daily basis, you will really quickly have like a good base that you will feel comfortable with, for sure. Like, whether you want it or not, that will happen.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, is that it's kind of inevitable to learn because you're living in Paris and, like you said, no one speaks English. They just don't, they refuse. So it's kind of inevitable that you learn some words in the supermarket, in the metro, etc. Do you guys feel that after 4 years, do you guys speak French by now, you think?
Christina does.
I do.
I don't.
No, but even you speak not as bad as you think, honestly. You express yourself.
You understand.
But yeah, my issue was that I don't know. I mean, I took classes in AUP, but it is my fault that after the class I didn't sit down and I didn't go through them again. And you cannot learn the language if you don't do that. So it has been difficult. Christina has been helping me basically with everything. So if you don't speak French, either find a French boyfriend or a friend who speaks French. Yeah, this is my advice.
Yeah, I would say my advice is as well to get out of the AUP bubble, because it's very tempting to stay within the community of, you know, English-speaking people, because, you know, Paris is scary. French people, if they don't, you know, if they hear you speak English, they might react super rude. No, so that's my advice, is to kind of step out and make some French friends. Go, you know, yeah, and just meet people outside of AUP as well to get that language, because that's the only way you'll learn, because it's very easy to stay in the AUP bubble, which I think is maybe what happened to you, Tommy, that you kind of we're just always with us as well. Like, we will speak English together, you know, so it makes sense. It makes sense that that happens. One other topic that I got a bunch of DMs about was the finance aspect of it, because AUP is, you know, an American tuition school, and as well, Paris living costs are high. Like, I remember my rent for a 14 square apartment in my sophomore year, I think I paid at least 1K for like 14 square meters, or 950 euros or something. So living costs are, you know, something to keep in mind. And I got a question about like scholarships, if AUP does any scholarships. And Tommy, maybe you said you knew a lot about scholarships.
Yeah, because I've got that question a lot while I was doing the campus tours. So there are different types of scholarships in AUP. The biggest one is 75%, which is a huge scholarship, and it's given to few people every year, depending on your grades, if you have extracurricular activities, and of course showing your parents' income, your income, etc. There's a scholarship which is 50% and a scholarship which is 25%. And I know a huge amount of AUP's student body receives some type of scholarship, so it is something that is common. It is something that people receive, and it makes it possible for a lot of people to attend the school. Besides that, I know that if you're an American, you can get loans and stuff like that. Like us Europeans, like we aren't able to do that, but I know this makes it easier for the Americans. And on the other hand, I think for the living expenses, for example, in France, you can apply for CAF, which is the French government is giving you money for your housing, but again, you need to prove like your funds. But I know a huge number of people who are getting the CAF money, so it is doable, and AUP actually helps you to do it. Like, there are CAF workshops where they literally help you how to fill out the form. Yeah, it's very helpful. So I think nobody should lose hope. There are ways in which you can make this happen for yourself. Many people have. They're all types of different scholarships. And if you don't manage to get a scholarship from AUP, maybe just check other scholarships that are available. For example, in Bulgaria, there are quite a lot of scholarships for students who want to go and study abroad, and you just have to apply, and if you get accepted, they can cover your full tuition. And I'm sure that this is the case for many other countries. So just do your research, but I'm sure you will be able to find something.
No, that's good. I also know that AUP helps out with, they have like a database of jobs available, and they recommend doing like babysitting jobs. I remember that. A lot of French families, they want like an English-speaking babysitter for their kids so that the kids learn English at like a young level, and AUP helps you out with that as well.
And I think another thing is that in AUP, you can arrange your schedule in such a way that fits your work. So for example, I've had internships from the first year that I joined AUP until the very last that I graduated. And even during my master's, I had almost a full-time job, and I managed to, like, for 4 years, I've always worked and always studied, and it is doable. Like, you can do it. And I'm not the only example. Like, there are quite a lot of people who have been working while studying, and it has worked out for them.
But it's also super convenient that, like, as soon as you enter AUP, you know exactly what classes you need to take. So you can plan your schedule like 4 years in advance, basically, even.
Did you do that?
A little bit, because some classes you have to be a certain level, like senior or junior, to attend, but mostly you know exactly what you need, you know exactly when you can take it. If you want like a little less busy semester, you can take more extracurriculars, and then like you can pick and choose.
Yeah. Because it's 4 classes per semester, and then it's 3 hours per class, so that's 12 hours of class a week. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I know that if you want to graduate faster, you can apply for a course overload. So this is what I did for my master's, for example. I just managed to get most of my classes like the first semester, and then I managed to graduate a semester earlier.
That's amazing.
And summer school as well.
Yeah.
I think the final topic that I want to discuss is just life in Paris in general, living in Paris, the AUP experience, and anything else you want to share about that. I mean, for me, I would say Paris is so crazy to live in. Like, there's nothing like it, honestly. The city is so vibrant.
Loved it. It depends. Like, some people love it, some people hate it. In terms of Paris itself, for me, it's a special place for sure. I loved it. I met like one of the best people in my life there. I enjoyed my university life, absolutely. But there are little things, of course, like in any country, like bureaucracy sometimes can be annoying, or like the constant protests and strikes. Like, so many times I woke up in the morning and Ubers were on strike, Metro was on strike, so you were literally like blocked. But all that aside, I think Paris is a lot of fun, a lot of options, a lot of great people there, a lot of like talented people. In terms of also things to do, museums, like incredible, always different expositions, new restaurants, clubs, bars, everything. Like, it's not a huge city, but it's very lively, and there's always something going on.
For me, Paris has been the craziest experience of my life, definitely. And like, without Paris, I wouldn't have met you guys. I wouldn't have met my best friends. One of the most important things about Paris is that the city can be whatever you make it. Like, if you want to party and meet people and travel, like, you can do that. But if you want to like really focus on work, studying, building your career in this capacity, like you also can, because there are quite a lot of networking events. One of the best parts of Paris for me was that I could really take initiative and organize events that I wanted to organize, and I had access to people that I wouldn't have access to if I was anywhere else in the world. And especially for fashion, communications, marketing, I think Paris is the center of the world for that. And the fact that I was involved also in AUP's media, I managed to go to Paris Fashion Week, and I understood that this is kind of what I want to do. I really want to get into fashion. I want to start a fashion blog. So actually, if it wasn't for AUP and me being part of AUP's TV, then I wouldn't have attended Fashion Week and found out that I have this like huge passion for like fashion. So I think if you want to get involved in activities like this, like, you never get wrong. Even if you don't like the experience, you still learn something from it. So my advice is just try as many things as you can and like you can stumble across something that you will end up doing for the rest of your life.
I also want to add to that, like before coming, like I'm a very shy person generally, and I was super scared, but AUP, although like in the beginning it was still scary, like somehow I met Farah and then I met Tommy, and like it felt so easy, the transition. And AUP always had these events where you can meet people, so don't be scared, in a sense, like you won't feel lonely. There are always people as confused as you are, especially in the beginning, and like you will find your friend group, you will find like your flow. So AUP is great in like making you feel welcomed in that sense.
Yeah, exactly, accepted, like your opinion is always valid.
Exactly, yeah.
AUP is definitely you kind of, you get what you give out. So if you really attend all the events and you know you're part of campus clubs, you'll get a whole community of AUP friends, you know, that are basically here for life. I mean, look at us, it's 2 years post grad and we're still basically best friends.
Yeah,
I would say don't be afraid to experiment, as well. As Tommy said, like I've known a lot of people who switched majors midway. Not a problem. AUP is very understanding. 99 professors that I had, the kindest people who still email me from time to time asking how I am. Very nice people. Paris is beautiful always, so that's a bonus.
Always in our
hearts. Yeah, for sure. If you're thinking about it, I highly recommend. I don't regret it at all.
Another like huge benefit is that AUP has a very strong relationship with all of their alumni. Me looking at from that perspective as someone who just graduated with their master's, AUP launched a mentorship program, I think 2 years ago, and I've been a part of it twice. But now the second time during my master's, I was paired to an incredible mentor who is working in the sustainability sector. And this really influenced me and how I want to continue my career moving forward. So I think one of the also like unique selling points is that AUP has like this super close relationships with a lot of incredible people. So this mentorship program would be a great example. Also the career and internship office, they're very helpful. They can help you with any internship, like applications, job applications after graduation as well. So they are a very well-connected institution. And if you want to get in touch with someone, they will help you. Like they will find a way to get you in touch with this person. So in terms of life after graduation, I think you should just use the resources that are available to you and you will be able to find a good job for yourself.
Okay, I think with that, if anyone else has anything else to say, then I think we'll round it up there. Thank you guys so much for listening. And if you do have any more questions about AUP, you can always reach out. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can comment below. If there are any more questions, we might make a part 2 of this if there's too many questions.
Yes,
I would love to. I love this. We should make more topics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love, thank you guys so much thank you Tom and Christina for being here so much on my first official podcast.
Well, thank you for listening.
Yes.
Thank you for tuning in. Subscribe to Farah.
Yes.
Immediately. And a like. Everyone put a like now. Okay. Good.
Thank you guys for the support. And thank you guys for listening or for watching this. And we'll see you in the next one. Are you drooling right now?
No.
Oh my God.
Back to serious.